"You're delivering food now?" That's what my uncle said when he opened the door. He looked me up and down, noticed the soggy sneakers, the company windbreaker, the receipt folder in my hand. Guess college wasn't for everyone. Behind him, the house was full of people. Music, lights, fake laughter. A gold banner over the archway said, "Congrats, Marcus, UC Berkeley." I didn't say anything, just held out the bag. He didn't take it. "My name's Kieran. I was 17. No diploma, no apartment, no plan anyone respected. That night, I was on the 5th hour of a dinner shift. My cousin Marcus had just locked in a full ride to Berkeley. I'd just been rejected from the only community college I applied to, missing credits, no recommendations. I was living in the back of my friend's car, driving food I couldn't afford to eat, charging my phone in gas stations and gym lobbies. I'd delivered to doctors, lawyers, wedding receptions. But I didn't expect this address. I didn't expect it to be family. "Marcus," my uncle called over his shoulder, "guess who's here?" My cousin walked over, same perfect grin he had in high school, same haircut, same shirt tucked too neatly. "Kieran," he said. "Damn, I didn't know DoorDash had a legacy program." Laughter, from behind them, from the girls, from Clara. Clara, who I once walked home from chemistry class in 9th grade, who I thought might have liked me once. She looked at me like she couldn't remember how we'd met. "Come here," Marcus said, pulling out his phone. "Smile real quick." Flash. "Delivery guy of the year." More laughter. My uncle finally took the bag. He pulled out a crumpled $5 bill and tucked it in the receipt folder. "Here's your tip. You'll never be anyone if you don't learn to plan better." He closed the door without saying goodbye. I didn't go back to the car right away. I stood on the porch for a full minute, just long enough to hear the music start again, just long enough to hear Clara's voice say, "Oh my God, was that really him?" No one opened the door again. I got in the car. My friend Saul's Toyota. The heater barely worked. The smell of sesame chicken had soaked into the seats. I opened the DoorDash app. Another run was waiting. I didn't accept it. I opened Notes instead. Typed 2 lines. "You'll never be anyone, Uncle D." Noted, me. That was it. No rage, no plan, just a screenshot. I named the folder /Revenge Protocol /Initiate. Then I closed the phone, leaned my head back, and stared at the ceiling until the condensation on the windshield faded. I got kicked out of Saul's car 2 weeks after the Willow Street delivery. Not because he stopped being my friend, but because he got a girlfriend and needed the back seat. "Nothing personal, bro," he said, handing me my backpack. That was the last sentence he ever said to me. I stayed at the back of a gym for a while. Key code never changed. Staff never noticed me sleeping in the utility closet if I left before 6 a.m. I showered, worked double shifts at a local burger joint, spent my paychecks on coffee, gas, and data. Every dollar I didn't need went into 2 things: energy drinks and server space. Coding wasn't the plan. It wasn't a dream. I didn't write Python in a notebook when I was 10. I didn't care about Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs. I cared about never being laughed at again. So I downloaded manuals from Russian forums, read PDFs in parking lots, highlighted everything in my head. I taught myself the old-fashioned way: failure, late nights, and duct-taped Chromebooks. I didn't post about it. I didn't tell anyone. I just studied. At 19, I submitted an application to a rising startup called Avexatech, entry-level back-end engineer, no degree required. I passed the coding test, then got a rejection email the next morning. While your technical score was acceptable, we are prioritizing candidates with more structured academic backgrounds. I reread that sentence 4 times, saved it in my revenge folder, Avexatech, cowards.txt. Then I built a version of their platform in 18 days. It ran faster, cleaner, with 40% less overhead. I posted it anonymously on a private dev board and watched their CTO panic publicly in the comment threads. During this time, I sold plasma twice a week. I stole discarded routers from tech waste bins and rewired them for practice. I built websites for food vendors, fast, clean, simple, in exchange for free meals. One guy offered me $40. I refused. I said, "Just let me eat." He looked at me like I was crazy. "Nobody works for free anymore." I nodded. That's the point. By 21, my code was running under 4 different aliases: GhostFrame, Small CMS Plugin, Cave Pulse, POS Tracker for late-night food trucks, NetStatic, AdScraper turned AdBlocker turned Anti-Tracker, BitterScript, repo of clean, modular backend packages. None of them had my name attached, but all of them paid, quietly, via crypto wallets, prepaid reload cards, anonymous ACH, no address, no tax ID, just functionality. I heard what people said about me back home. He's still bouncing around. He got fired from Uber Eats. Marcus said he saw him at a Greyhound station last year. No one said he built that app, because I didn't put my name on anything. Not yet. The moment they know who you are, they want a piece. Or they want to laugh again. I let them guess. By 22, I'd made just over $41,000, all off record. I still lived cheap, still slept in boiler rooms, storage sheds, or back offices of diners where I installed free Wi-Fi as a thank you. I had one duffel bag, 2 shirts, a hoodie that said Northside Wrestling from a school I never attended. I paid $400 to register an LLC in Delaware under a name no one could trace back to me. I didn't celebrate. I just moved the folder /Revenge Protocol Initiate /Revenge Protocol Build. I remember the moment it clicked. I was writing API cleanup code in a diner bathroom stall because the seating area was full. No Wi-Fi out there, but strong enough signal near the pipes. 2 guys were in the stall next to me. I heard Marcus's startup just got a $200,000 seed, one said. The one with the VR fitness thing? Yeah, Kieran's cousin. I paused mid-keystroke. Whatever happened to Kieran? The other guy asked. No clue. Probably pumping gas somewhere. They laughed. I pressed send. That script launched the crawler that found 2,144 vulnerable enterprise-level endpoints. Within 3 weeks, my code would be quietly patched into 8 different security firms' products. I was paid to disappear, and I did. I checked my email one morning and saw a licensing request. The email address was corporate. The sender, d.hamilton@clearphase.io. And Uncle Dan. He didn't know it was me, I replied. Happy to discuss further. I prefer in-person meetings. Please send deck. I smiled for the first time in 2 years. Not because I was happy, because it had begun. Subject, licensing inquiry from d.hamilton@clearphase.io to ops@athena.solutions. He opened the conversation with a compliment. We've been very impressed with your security API. We're looking to license a slimmed-down version for our new client dashboard. I drafted a polite reply, reviewed it 3 times, deleted the opener. I kept it short. Standard NDA. $100,000 base. We don't white label. Ops team Athena. Athena wasn't a person. It wasn't even a company, not officially. It was an LLC registered through 2 holding entities across 3 states. The email domain was routed through a burner address. The bank account had no name attached. The only real person in the chain was me, and I wasn't on paper anywhere. Over 2 years, I turned Athena into an invisible empire. Not viral, not flashy, useful. My first version of Athena's suite was built in motel lobbies and library terminals. Adaptive endpoint protection, behavior-based firewall triggers, encrypted user session verification. It started showing up in private Slack groups and CTO channels. Quiet talk, quiet adoption, no ads, no founder videos, no press. If you knew, you knew. That's how I wanted it. At 24, I had 12 employees. None knew my name. I conducted interviews through voice masking and Slack-only onboarding. Everyone thought I was a technical operations manager. Nobody asked questions. I paid on time. I corrected bad code. I reviewed commits at 3 a.m. That was enough. By 25, we had netted $3.2 million in contracted licensing. Most of it through resellers, white box integrators, and enterprise dev kits. I didn't celebrate. I upgraded my hoodie. I bought a car I didn't drive. And I moved from the boiler room to a small, high-rise condo that overlooked the very university that rejected me. I didn't apply again, but I did sponsor their cybersecurity research lab. Quietly, no plaque. It came in the form of a forwarded slide deck. My assistant forwarded it with the subject, Potential Acquisition Target, ClearPhase. I froze when I saw the header. Logo, company description, management bios. CEO, Daniel Hamilton, Uncle Dan. His startup had pivoted 4 times in 5 years, burned through 3 seed rounds, clinging to survival on a crumbling dashboard built from open-source scraps. They were proposing a strategic integration with Athena's security package. They didn't know we already powered their own competitor. They didn't know I was Athena. In the final slide, there was a 2-minute sizzle reel. Clean, sharp, overproduced. Stock music. Then his face. My uncle, dressed in the same smug confidence I remembered from Willow Street. And when we talk about innovation, he said, we mean partnerships. We mean taking code that works and building on it. No need to reinvent the wheel. Just own the road. I watched it twice. Then once more, muted. His eyes still had that look. The look from the porch. The one that said, you'll never be anyone. I didn't reply to the inquiry. Not yet. I sent a contract offer to his supplier instead. A licensing buyout. Took 2 days. Closed it in 3. That supplier powered 42% of ClearPhase's back-end integrations. I didn't announce it. I just added a clause in their terms of use. No resale to third-party financial dashboards without direct authorization. ClearPhase had 60 days to comply. They didn't read the fine print. The next month, I signed a silent acquisition of a company called BlueTrace, a CRM tool that ClearPhase's clients used for reporting. My legal team built a clause in that transfer too. Usage of Athena layered modules within BlueTrace integration stacks requires compliance check. 3 compliance checks failed, not because they were messy, but because they were mine. I waited for the email. It came at 11:38 a.m., Monday morning. Hey Athena team, we're seeing new licensing constraints on one of our key integrations. Can we jump on a call this week to clarify? Would love to explore a more direct partnership. I replied 2 hours later. Short, cold. We'll arrange a presentation. In person only. It was a standard investor suite in downtown San Francisco. We booked the whole floor under a different LLC. One of my associates greeted them at the elevator. Thank you for coming. The presentation will start shortly. My uncle stepped into the room with his team. Polished slides, branded polo, didn't recognize me. I sat in the far corner, black shirt, glasses, no name tag. He talked for 18 minutes straight. Buzzwords, growth curves, synergies, future potential. He said machine learning 5 times, proprietary tech 7. I counted. Then he said this. Athena's platform has been instrumental to our system performance. Their work is clean, reliable, perfect for scale. We're ready to partner with serious players. I stood up, walked to the table, removed the glasses. He stopped mid-sentence. The room went silent. I said, we don't partner with brands that fake innovation and steal infrastructure. I handed his CTO a single envelope. Inside was a printed screenshot of his licensing violations. You have 30 days to unwind your dependencies. As I turned to leave, he tried to speak. Kieran? I didn't respond, didn't look back. The door shut behind me. That was the first time he saw me in 8 years, and the last time he ever had the upper hand. They didn't believe the envelope, not at first. Legal scare tactic, someone on their team said. We've worked with their stack for years. They're not going to pull licenses. But on day 6, one of their dashboards locked up. Then a compliance API failed. Then a client couldn't generate reports. Day 9, their credit monitoring feature was disabled. Day 12, Stripe returned a 403 error. Payment systems halted. I didn't reply to emails. Not the, hey, just checking in. Not the, we'd love to revisit the terms. Not the, are you open to a lunch meeting in SF? I stayed dark. Let the system speak for me. Day 15, ClearPhase scrambled to schedule an emergency presentation for new funding. Angel Group out of Menlo Park. Big money, older money. I had someone in the room, not to interfere, just to listen. He texted me after. Panic, no roadmap, CEO trying to talk his way out of it. Mentioned Athena 4 times. Called your infrastructure unstable. Nobody believed it. I didn't respond. Day 21. They called again, this time from a private number. I answered. Is this the Athena director? Silence on my end. This is Daniel Hamilton, he said. I think you know that. More silence. I know what happened. I didn't know it was you. Still silent. He tried again. You always were. Resourceful. I finally spoke. 4 words. You'll never be anyone. Then I hung up. Day 27. They missed payroll. Day 28, their CTO quit. Day 29, their hosting provider flagged them for a violation of service terms. That provider belonged to one of my silent partners. Day 30, a quiet, plain text message was posted to the ClearPhase website. We are sunsetting operations effective immediately. That night, I got a DM on an old account I hadn't used in years. From Clara Waves. Message, saw what happened. Guess you won after all. Hope it helped. I stared at the message for a long time, then archived it. Not because I was angry, because that part of me was over. She thought it was a competition. She thought revenge was about proving something. It never was. It was about finishing the sentence he started when I was 17. 3 weeks later, I walked into my own boardroom. Glass walls, private security, 11-figure valuation, team of 34. We were finalizing a partnership with an AI safety firm. The rep pulled out a file. These guys are cheap. Their tech's patchy, but their client base is huge. I looked at the folder. Logo in the top right corner. ClearPhase Ventures LLC. Same name. New domain. Different CEO. Still rotting from the inside. As we ended the meeting, my operations lead asked if I wanted to respond to a media inquiry. Fast Company wants a quote, she said. Something about building quietly. I shook my head. No interviews. No names. What should I tell them? Tell them I don't remember who I used to be. She nodded. I walked to the elevator. The sun hit the glass just right. For a second, I saw my reflection layered over the skyline. Then I disappeared in the glare. It came in through the internal portal. Name, Marcus Hamilton. Position applied. DevOps Associate. Referred by N.A. I stared at it for a moment. Not surprised. Just amused. 10 years ago, Marcus stood in a designer polo shirt and laughed in my face while Clara snapped a picture of me delivering food. Now, he was applying to my company. He didn't know that, but I did. I closed the application, didn't forward it, didn't comment. Just moved it to a folder labeled /archive/family requests/ignored. 3 days later, a contact at the county office emailed me. You still interested in 2704 Willow? I opened the attachment. Foreclosure initiated. My uncle's house, the one where he gave speeches over shrimp platters and gold banners, was being repossessed. Mortgage default, 2 years unpaid. I bought the lien anonymously, then scheduled the property sale. I didn't attend the auction, didn't walk past the house, didn't need to. The headline was buried on page 7 of a startup newsletter. Clearphase Ventures shuts down amid legal woes and licensing violations. No quotes, no investor statements, just a list of assets being sold off piecemeal. I forwarded it to my personal inbox. Subject, thought you'd like this. Never hit send. I just archived it with the others. They started a week later. Uncle Dan, 7:44 a.m. Kieran, I just wanted to talk. We don't have to get into it. I'm not asking for anything. Just, if you're out there, I'd like to know. Uncle Dan, 1:15 p.m. I get it, okay? I was an ass. I said things I shouldn't have. You made your point. Uncle Dan, 3:05 a.m. Silence. Then a deep breath. They pulled the lease on the new place. I lost the investor group. Marcus moved in with his girlfriend. You win. Congratulations. Pause. You can stop now. I saved that one. Didn't reply. One of my developers, Cam, sent me a photo. My uncle, sitting alone at a dive bar 2 towns over. Cheap beer. Phone face down. Same polo, but faded. Hairline thinner. Caption, is this the guy from the Clearphase pitch? I replied, don't know. Doesn't ring a bell. One night, a letter showed up at the office, handwritten, folded inside a resume. From Daniel Hamilton, position requested, advisor, mentorship role. Note, I understand if you never want to speak to me again, but if there's ever a role where I can be useful, I'll show up. I'll earn it, even if I never get credit. I read it twice. I shredded it without a word. 3 months later, I walked past a job fair being held in a mid-tier hotel lobby. One of those tech placement expos for laid-off professionals. I wasn't supposed to be there, but I saw him. Booth badge, wrinkled shirt, shaking hands, smiling too hard, pitching his background in entrepreneurial software development. He didn't see me. He wouldn't have recognized me if he had. That night, I watched the original porch party video again, the one Clara posted when I was 17. Marcus raising a shrimp skewer. Laughter. Me standing in the background holding a bag of food. I muted it, then I clicked save. Renamed the file, Clearphase exit version 1.move. Then I deleted it. I didn't need the memory anymore. The world remembered for me. When 6 months after the foreclosure, Northwood High announced a new tech lab, Athena Innovation Center, coming fall 2026, named after the LLC, not me. There was no ribbon cutting, no ceremony, just a single quote in the local paper, funded anonymously by a former student. No one knew who, except the janitor who found a note taped inside the server cabinet. To the kids who eat lunch alone, keep building. I visited my old storage unit one last time. The receipt from my first freelance payment was still taped to the wall, and $62.43, handwritten, smudged. I packed everything into 2 bags, my first broken laptop, a printout of my 17-year-old resume, the windbreaker from DoorDash. I didn't keep them. I placed them in a box and dropped it off at a shelter for runaway teens. Left a note inside. This jacket once meant I was nobody. That's why it's valuable now. A few weeks later, I got a call from Fast Company. Tech Maverick disrupts licensing space. Zero public identity. They want to do a cover. My assistant asked if I wanted to schedule an interview. I shook my head. I'm not the story. A month later, someone emailed, your story would be perfect for TED. People need to hear about grit, from rejection to resilience. I never replied. They sent a follow-up with the subject line, they said you'd never be anyone. Now you're building everyone's future. I forwarded it to a burner inbox and let it expire. One day, the number changed. Unknown. Number message. Marcus is getting married. You're invited if you want. No pressure. No greeting. No apology. I closed the message. Typed a response. Who is this? Then deleted it before sending. I went back once. Willow Street. The porch was gone. Renovated. The house had been flipped twice. New paint. New owners. I parked across the street. Didn't get out. Didn't cry. Just sat there with the windows up, watching the lights blink on inside. Some other family now. Some other life. It didn't sting. It didn't feel like anything. I drove to the coast that night, parked at a cliffside turnout, stepped out of the car. The air was clean, quiet, cold in a way that didn't hurt anymore. I walked to the edge, watched the water hit rock in slow rhythm. No music, no speech, just the sound of what survived. I sat down, pulled out my phone, opened the Revenge folder. Revenge protocol finalized, then deleted it. One tap. Gone. The ocean didn't notice, and neither did I. That's all for this story. I'll be back with another one. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It motivates me to create more content like this.